English course. Yeah, English course outside for maybe 1 years and a half. Yeah,
One year
probably
and a half, one
1 years
year
and a
and a
half.
half and a half.
Mhm.
Okay,
And
1.5 year.
also mhm, and 10 at 10th grade, I used to have a public speaking extracurricular. So it was taught by our English teacher.
Yeah, I see.
So yeah, we are taught like speaking or preparation for the future.
Okay. So you told me that you had public speaking. Public speaking like what? Presentation or
Um,
speech, delivering
Actually,
speech or
mhm,
storytelling, something like that.
the teacher only asks uh us to speak
Mhm.
like several topic, and you will uh pick to speech in front of the class.
Oh, I see. So preparing some
Hmm.
topics and something
Yeah,
like preparing some topics or randomly choosing some topics and then you develop, discuss together with friends.
just yeah.
Mhm,
Mm.
I see. Okay. So does your English teacher speak full English in the class when teaching the students?
Sorry.
Does do your teachers does your English teacher
Mhm.
deliver the English lesson fully in English or maybe 50% in English or half percent in Bahasa Indonesia to teach the English?
Yeah, he delivered it in English, but sometimes he used Indonesia.
Oh, I see. So any one of you of your friends understand English instruction from the teachers?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, and would you please describe me a little bit more about your school? Maybe um, how how is the school like, and what are the school programs to 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 serve to the students so that the students can learn English fully or maximal learning in the classroom?
Actually, for the English subject, the teacher was great, I guess, because he asked us to try to speak in English, even though you not really confident with your English, but
Yeah,
at least you try to speak.
yeah,
And I guess that is really motivate me or develop me to be better because um as the meeting goes by, I try not to learn something new from him. So um, I guess it really helps me
yeah.
to improve.
Okay, I understand. What you told me shows that English is already part of your English instruction in the classroom, and that's really good, and that really helps you.
Mhm.
That's why you can speak
Yeah.
English now.
Mhm.
But I think in the future we need to learn tenses. Okay, we need to learn
Mhm.
tenses, and also we need to learn passive voice. I think
Okay.
for grammar focus, and maybe for speaking once, I will choose maybe English for specific, maybe English for business purpose or
Yep. Okay.
English for marketing purpose or tourism, something like that. Because you are
Okay.
focusing on vocational high school, right?
Personal husband. Mhm.
So, as vocational high school student, you need to understand more topics. When, for example, when
Yeah.
we are talking about tourism, you need some vocabularies to help you deliver or express your thoughts, your ideas.
Mhm.
Because without vocabularies, little bit difficult to transfer what we want to say, right?
Yeah.
Little bit difficult to transfer the message we have in our thoughts. So, to learn English, we have to have enough vocabulary mastery. Okay, enough vocabulary mastery. But number one is speaking. You don't have to be afraid to speak or to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay, don't be afraid. Okay,
Okay.
what you have done is already right. You have done your best, and you are so confident. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Okay, and I really
Mm.
support. Okay, thank you very much. I need that also to help me build a lot of data and a lot of information so that I can prepare what you need in the
Mm.
future. Okay, and
Mm.
for me, because when I am teaching online students, everybody is different.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody's background of English is different. For example, I have my students in the third grade of primary school, and I also have
Mm.
my students in the first junior high school and in
Mm.
the second junior high school. So of course, I have to adjust what they need. I have to adjust means I
Mm.
have to find the right topics. Okay,
Mm.
so that is why I need to gather a lot of informations individually from my students so that I can suit to what they need in the future.
Mm.
To of course to boost up their English. Uh, you follow this course because you want to upgrade your English level, right? You want to
Yes.
upgrade.
Mm.
So uh, that is why I agree with you that you have to speak confidently, no matter what mistakes. It doesn't matter because you will improve and grow as when you are practicing. Okay, you will
Mm.
improve gradually in the future when you are practicing. So,
Mm.
thank you very much for your introduction about your school description. And anyway, do you remember about your past childhood?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay. Would you please tell me what you used to do when you were in primary school and in junior high school? Would you please describe to me what you can remember or what you can tell me, please?
Okay. Probably at primary school, if I didn't forgot, I used to went to my grandma house
Mhm.
every weekend.
Yeah,
So every weekend at Friday, after I go back from school, I went to my grandma house.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, repeat like every week. But
Mm.
lately I jarang.
Seldom.
J-
I seldom.
Yeah,
Seldom.
yeah, I seldom to went to my grandma house because of our schedule and my cousin's schedule sometimes is not really
Eh,
sit really well. So yeah, so yeah, we don't went there, but uh, and I ever have a drum band extracurricular at primary
Oh,
school every
drum band.
Friday.
Drum band.
Drum band,
Mm.
and I thought that was my best experience at primary school because I kind of I can say I kind of busy at primary school.
Yeah.
Like the teacher sometimes asked me uh to join a competition like a coloring competition, like
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Mm.
yeah, something
Yeah,
like that,
I see.
and reading a poet's competition, yeah, something
Something
like
like
that.
storytelling, right? Storytelling
Storytelling, yeah.
competition,
Mm-hmm.
singing competition, and speech
No,
competition.
no, I never had
You
a
never,
singing competition before.
or you never followed singing competition, but
Mm-hmm.
you ever followed a drawing competition,
A drawing
drawing
competition,
competition,
coloring competition,
coloring
yeah.
competition. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think that that was the activities in the when you were in the childhood. So, what can you
Mm-hmm.
remember when you were in the middle school, in junior high school?
Oh, oh, when I'm in the junior high school, it was pandemic COVID-19. So,
Oh, pandemic,
oh
yeah.
yeah, so I learned online PJJ. It really boring for
All
me.
right. So you had to
Yeah,
learn online from your teachers?
online. Yeah,
Online.
Zoom,
Oh,
having a Zoom meeting.
Yeah. So you didn't have enough experiences when you were in the middle high school, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I see. Yeah, majority of students didn't have enough experiences because they only stayed at home and
Yeah.
they didn't connect with teachers. They didn't connect with students physically, right? Physically,
Mm,
they didn't
yeah.
have enough time to contact or to
Mm-mm.
encounter their friends. Okay, so yeah, I think that's great experience when you were in primary school, and I really appreciate that.
Mm,
Okay, so why I ask you about that is because our topic today is how to express the past habits. Okay, so we're gonna learn how to express our past habits and uh, okay. Yeah, hello Pira.
you?
Yeah,
I can see
hi.
the
Can you see
presentation.
the presentation?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so we're going to learn clearer about how to talk about past habits in English. Okay, like what you had told me, parts of your explanation was already right. You had explained and you had been able to explain me what happened in the past. For example,
Mm,
when you were in primary school and when you were in junior high school. Okay, so right now I want to explain the way to express the past habits is here as you see on the screen. There are three ways to talk about past habits. Okay, so
mm,
number one we can use is used to.
okay.
Okay, so the first one you can use is used to, and the second one
Mhm.
you can use is would, and the third one you can use is by using simple past tense. Okay, later on I will
Okay.
explain to you the the form of simple past tense, the pattern rumusnya nanti I will explain to you so
Mm,
that you are easy to describe about your childhood, about your past experiences. Okay, uh, in the future also you must be able to tell story, right? For
mm-hmm.
example, when you are doing marketing, when you are doing developing your business in the future, you have to be able to tell a story because story really attract people to listen, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, telling a story is very important. Is very important for someone to master by looking at the grammar points or grammar features, of course. Okay. So the first one by
Okay.
using used to number, and the second is by using would, and the third is by using simple past tense. And here
Okay.
is uh, so okay. I'm sorry. Just wait for
Mm,
a minute. I'm loading the PowerPoint. Yeah. So the first one we
yeah.
can use to express the past habits is by using used to. So used to, the word used to is used to talk about past habits or states. We can use the structure used to plus infinitive. Nanti kita gunakan used to tambah infinitive. Infinitive means verb one. Okay.
Okay.
For example, speak, run, learn, listen, discuss. Okay, they are kinds of infinitive, and it is about past states and habits with which don't happen anymore, with no longer. practice. For example, we did activities in the past when you were in primary school, but today not anymore, not on any longer.
Mm,
Okay. So, for example, when you are a kid or a girl, you went to visit your grandma, but today
mm,
you don't go anymore. Okay.
mm.
So there is a change. Ada perubahan dalam di masa lampau dengan di masa sekarang. Uh, that is the meaning of with no longer practice. So today it is not true anymore, but yesterday in the past it happened. Okay, it
Mm,
happened repeatedly. Repeatedly means many times. Berulang-ulang dia
mm,
terjadi di masa lampau, but today not happen anymore. Okay, so for example, we used to go to Spain every summer when we were kids. We used to go to Spain every summer when we were kids. Do you understand?
yes.
Yeah. So when you were a kid, you used to go to Spain, but today you don't go any longer. Okay. So there are two tenses that you have to learn. Number one is how to express your sentence in simple past tense, and the second is you must also understand how to use present tense, simple present tense. Okay. We used to go to Spain every summer when we were kids. Jadi di sini nanti because you already used to, here the sentence must be past tense. When we were kids. So this is past tense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And
Okay.
the second is Sandra used to take her dog for a walk at 7. Sandra used to take her dog for a walk at 7, but today she doesn't take her dog anymore. Oke, jadi sekarang ini dia tidak lagi membawa Sandra membawa anjingnya untuk jalan-jalan, but in the
Mm,
past she took her dog. So that is why we can say that Sandra used to take her dog for a walk at 7 o'clock, but today
mm.
she doesn't take the dog anymore. Now she has a cat. Okay, now she has a cat and she doesn't have a dog.
Okay.
Okay, and then number three is people used to think that the earth was flat. People used to think that the earth was flat. Orang berpikir bahwa bumi ini datar.
Oh,
But
mm,
today, because of knowledge, people have learned at school, have read books. They know that the earth is not flat; it is round.
mm.
Okay,
Found.
it is round. So that is why we use here used to. So for example, one more example. Other than this, when I were when I was a kid, I used to go swimming, but
Mm,
today I don't go swimming anymore. Okay, so when I were a kid, I used to go swimming. Ketika saya anak-anak, saya selalu pergi berenang. But today,
mm,
because I have grown up, I have been adult, I don't go swimming anymore. I go to school, I go to mall, and I go to shopping center, and etc.
mm.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay.
Understand.
So that is the way to use used to. And the second is uh, and how to change the sentence into negative is we use didn't. Okay, didn't used to, and this use goes back to infinitive. Okay, why? Because this
Okay.
one is using helping verb did. So this helping verb did comes from does or do, but because it is already over, we use did. Oke, okay? Jadi untuk kata
Okay.
mengganti ke kalimat negatif nanti kita gunakan didn't used to. Oke, okay? Dan ini nanti kembali ke bentuk semula atau infinitive. And after
Okay.
that, followed by infinitive. Here is, for example, we didn't used to go out much on work days. We didn't used to go out much on work days. So we use didn't and use back to
Mm.
infinitive. Okay, so that is the note that we have to remember. Okay, and number two is
Okay.
Helen didn't used to be so patient when she was younger. Helen didn't used to be so patient when she was younger. Jadi si Helen biasanya tidak harus bersabar when
Mm.
she was younger. So remember the sentence that followed here must form in simple past tense also, because both of the sentences have already explained what happened in the past. So
Okay.
we have to use simple past tense. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And then how to change into interrogative. To make questions, we use the structure did you used to plus infinitive. For example, did Paul used to learn French? Did Paul used to learn
Mm.
French? Did your mother used to work in the garden before she retired? Oke, jadi nomor satu, apakah si Paul biasanya belajar bahasa Prancis? And the second, did your mother used to work in the garden before she retired? Apakah
Mm.
ibumu biasanya bekerja di kebun sebelum before she retired? Do you understand? Sebelum
Mm.
dia pensiun.
Yes, Yun.
Oke. Well, I will make one sentence, and I want you to try to understand how to change into negative and interrogative. Okay. So
Okay.
please listen to me. Here is the sentence. Um, my my mother used to my mother used to live in USA when I was a kid. My mother used to live in USA when I was a kid. Can you change into negative?
My mother didn't used to live in USA when I was a kid.
Okay, great. So you got it, right? You understand, right?
Okay.
Okay. And how to change into interrogative?
Mm. Did your mother used to live in USA when were a kid?
Okay, that's perfect. Yes, I did. My mom, uh,
Yeah.
my mom used to go to USA. Okay, so that's it. How to make past habits that happened in the past. Okay, I
Okay.
think this one is clear and you have understood it. And next we go to the second way, how to express the
Okay.
simple past habits. So the second way we can use to express past habits, what we used to do in the past is by using would. Okay, we can use would to express past habits in the same way as used to, but remember to use would with action verbs only. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, and the structure is by using would plus infinitive. And here are some examples. When I was little, I would play football every day. When I was little, I would play football every day. And the second, Mark would always cycle to work while he was living in Spain. Number three,
Mm.
we would have endless arguments about politics during the war. Number four, our grandma would read as a bedtime story every night when we were children. Number five, they would produce flour in the windmills in the past. Okay, I want you to read, please, from number one until number five.
Okay. When I was little, I would play football every day. Mark would always cycle to work while he was living in Spain. We would have endless arguments about politics during the war. Our grandma would read a say bedtime story every night when we were children.
Children.
They would produce flour, flour in the wild mills in the past.
Okay. They would produce flour in the windmills. Okay, in the windmills in the past. Okay. Ya. So the second way, cara kedua tadi kita gunakan I would play football. Jadi ketika saya anak-anak, when I was a little, so remember to use here simple past tense. Okay? Because it is already in the past. When I was little, I would play football every day. Ketika saya anak-anak, saya biasanya atau saya akan bermain sepak bola setiap
Boleh.
hari. Oke. Okay. And the second, Mark would always cycle to work while he was living in Spain. You understand?
Hmm.
Okay. So cycle is bersepeda, okay, and would plus verb infinitive. So look at this. The form, the
Hmm.
formulation is would plus
Hmm.
infinitive. Okay. And number three, we would have endless arguments about politics during the war. Do you understand?
Hmm.
Okay. Have is verb one, right?
Yes.
And endless arguments itu perdebatan yang tidak pernah selesai,
Hmm.
something like that.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
something like that. So we would talk a lot of arguments, and the arguments never stop. Okay, and then our
Hmm.
grandma would read as a bedtime story every night when we were children. You understand?
Hmm.
And the next is they would produce flour in the windmills in the past. Here is produce, and this is would plus
Good.
verb infinitive. So here
Okay.
are ways to express past habits. By the way, can you make please one sentence maybe by using would that expresses what you repeatedly happen in the past?
Mm, when I was little, I would went to my grandma's house every weekend.
Once
Is
again,
that right?
please. Could you repeat?
When I was little, I would went to my grandma's house every weekend.
Okay, thank you. When I was a little, I would go. Okay, I would go.
Uh,
Okay, I would go. Don't use
Okay, I'm sorry.
went is already past tense, so would should be
It's
followed with infinitive. When I was a little, I would go to grandma's
uh,
house
house every weekend.
every weekend. Okay, one more please.
Mm, when I was a kid, I go to school. Oh no, sorry.
Yeah.
Uh, my mom will always cycle um me to go to school.
Okay, that's perfect. My mom would always cycle me to go to school. Okay. Don't forget
Mhm.
to use here verb one. Okay. Don't forget to use verb one.
Okay.
Would plus
Mm.
go. Here, for example, would play, would always cycle, would have, would read, okay, would produce. So produce
Okay.
is verb one, and then read is verb one, have is verb one, cycle is verb one, and
Mm.
play is verb one. Okay.
Okay.
If you think it is important, you can take some notes while
Yeah.
I'm explaining. Okay. Or
Okay.
maybe later I can send you this file. Do you think it's okay?
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Mhm.
Okay. So you can relearn at home after
Mhm.
our class. Of course, later I will give you exercise. Okay. To do as your homework because homework is really very important, right?
Sorry, Mister. I cannot hear your voice. Sorry.
Yeah. Hello. You can hear me. You can hear my voice.
Yeah. Yeah. I can.
Can you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And then the second, simple past tense. We also use simple past tense. We can use the simple past tense to talk about past habits in a similar way as used to, especially with the adverbs of frequency always, never, usually. Jadi kita bisa gunakan simple past tense nanti untuk menyampaikan apa yang terjadi di masa lampau. Sama dengan used to artinya used to tapi nanti beda they are really different. Used to is used to express describe repeated action, hal-hal yang berulang-ulang. So we do we did things
Mm-hmm.
repeatedly. Okay, so it didn't happen only once, but many times. It happened many
Okay.
times, not only one time. Okay, that is for used to. And also for would. Used to and would is used to express activities that happened repeatedly. And uh, simple past tense is used to express activity that happened only one time.
Okay.
Okay, you can use simple past tense only one time, things that happened in the past, but it happened only one time, not repeatedly.
Mm.
Here are for examples. Number one, we always went to the same place on holiday in the 90s. We always went to the same place on holiday in the 90s. Jadi kalau dalam simple past tense, saya berikan dulu rumusnya. Ini kalau rumus simple past tense. Do you know the formulation of simple past tense?
Um. Uh.
Do you remember?
No.
Oh, okay. So here is the form. Subject, okay. After subject, we use verb to.
Okay.
After subject, we use verb to. So simple past tense, verb to plus object plus yeah. Okay. So this is the formulation of simple past tense.
Mm.
Number one, we use subject and we use verb to. Okay. So verb to, for
Okay.
example, go. What is the verb to of go?
When.
Went. Smile.
Smart.
Smiled. Okay. Speak.
Spoke.
Spoke. Run.
Run.
Ran. Okay.
Ran. Ran.
Ran. Write.
Wrote.
Wrote. Understand.
Understood.
Understood. Okay, I think you got it. You have understood. Okay.
Uh,
So
okay.
that those are the verb to.
Mm.
Okay. So subject plus verb to plus object plus adverb of time. So adverb of time we use, for example, yesterday, okay, last
Mm.
night, last month, last year, one day. Okay. So adverb of time. Sorry. For example, yesterday, last night, one day, the past, once upon a time. Okay, so these are the kinds of adverb that you can use when you are expressing simple past tense. Okay, and I believe
Okay.
you have understood it. So we continue to our previous explanation.
Okay.
Okay. So here are some examples. Look at this. We always went to the same place on holiday in the 90s. Can you change this into negative?
Uh, we didn't go to the same place on holiday in the 90s.
Okay, perfect. Number two.
We didn't usually have breakfast in the kitchen and dinner in the dining room.
Okay, good. Very good. Number three.
Uh, Simon didn't
Didn't
mm,
ever.
didn't ever have a
Yeah.
steady job, so he decided to set up his own business.
Okay, good. Next.
Uh, Fiona
Okay,
didn't.
that's already negative. Okay.
But
So
yeah.
yeah. So thank you very much. Okay. So you have understood how to use simple past tense, right?
Okay.
Okay. And next, so here is the main difference. The main difference is that the past simple doesn't emphasize the repeated action. Okay, so when we use simple past tense, the thing or the action happened only one time, hanya sekali.
Mm-mm.
So it didn't happen repeatedly. Okay, while uh, we use used to and would for repeated actions that happened in the past. So
Okay.
that's it. So that's the difference. And also the past simple doesn't make it so clear that the thing is no longer true. So bukan berarti simple past tense itu dulu terjadi sekarang tidak lagi ya. But it all
Mm-hmm.
because it was because it happened only one time doesn't mean that it is not true now. Okay? So we
Mm-hmm.
focused on the activity that it happened only one time. And next, if something happened only once, we must use the simple past tense. For example,